In this game, you can see the future and are trying to stop the apocalypse. Hi, I'm MadMorph, and this is Harmony, the Fall of Reverie. It's a game where the fate of humanity is at stake, and we have the power of clairvoyance to see the future. We're going to try and balance our normal human world and the world of the deities. This video is sponsored by Don't Nod and Harmony, the Fall of Reverie. Check out the game for yourself at the link in the info below. And as always, if you enjoy me reading to you and you find this content relaxing, check out my podcast of bedtime stories where I read books to help you sleep. You can find all of the info and the link to this game in the description below. Welcome back, Polly. Polly's an interesting name. Pole. Pole. Ooh, look at this art. Gorgeous. That was some lovely opening animation too. Felt that with the fan going. That's me all week whilst it's been hot here. Alright, let's jump into it. I'm here with my ice drink on a hot summer's eve. Let's begin. Everything looks the same, but it feels so different. I dropped my bag in my old room. It's been 10 years since I moved out of this place. 5 since the last time I managed to come back for holidays. When I was young, this island felt so small, but now I'm realizing I was wrong about that. It's not small. It's just that I was growing up. I had my own ideas. Needed some time. Away. Alone. Back then, it felt like all the space here was meant for other, more important people. And by people, I mean my mother, Ursula. She's always been so purposeful, so dedicated, so focused. She casts a long shadow. What's that say? The Naiads. Arcade machine. The dream. Now I find myself stepping back into the place where we lived together. For so many years. The Naiads. A big residence open to all, filled with artists and creatives. The backbone of Alma, the surrounding neighborhood. At least it was. With Ursula gone missing, the place feels empty now, almost abandoned. I decide to go straight to my mother's room, to the heart of the problem. Nice room. Everything looks familiar, and everything feels strange. I hear a sound, and some instinct freezes me in place. Nobody's home. The noise emerges from somewhere inside my mother's room. A heartbeat, and a gentle pearl-like rattling. A soothing sound, a call. A name whispered, chanted. I feel compelled to open the door and... Nicely written so far. You like jazz? How deep's that bath? not in Kansas anymore. Where am I? The world around me, I've never seen anything like it. An endless panorama, a limitless horizon, my head spins. And there, looking at me like I'm an old friend, is a girl. She seems surprised, as if my presence was a shock to her.
Oh, didn't see you there. Take your time, Sprout. It's not every day you wake up in a new dimension.
My ears are ringing, head swimming. I feel like I'm in the strangest dream ever, but I take a breath and focus.
There you go. You'll get the hang of it in no time.
Who is this person? She puts down the game console she was playing with and rushes over to me.
So, I guess we've got a lot to discuss.
Who are you? I'm Polly.
You're Polly.
Actually, you're Harmony for us over here.
She seems to be looking at my clothes and what happened? Why am I dressed like a priestess? Oh, okay, this is me. I thought this was like my mirror me talking to me from my point of view. Breathe, I need to breathe.
I'm Bliss. This world is Reverie. And it's in big trouble.
Okay, can I get one of these ice drinks though? What is that, a slushie?
What?
Both my world and yours are on the brink of collapse. Not pillaged and plundered by an invading army or something cool like that. No, this is ugly. Bad news. Collapsing from within, you know?
Wait, slow down, please. I was just in my mother's room, and I picked up this necklace, and...
See this?
The girl points to an object floating in the middle of the platform. An orb. It sort of looks like a heart, wreathed in blue flames. It's radiating a powerful surge of emotions. How do I know this?
Don't look at it for too long, Sprout. It'll bum you out.
It's incredible.
And yet, it's fragile. More than it has ever been.
Heart. I take a few steps towards it. Waves of comforting warmth and aching cold wash over me. Yawning in your face, so rude. Sensations of solitude and togetherness, emptiness and excess. I'm on the verge of tears, gripped by a sense of helpless sorrow beyond my control.
I know who you are. And I know you have to touch the heart of Reverie.
The heart.
Touch it! Touch it and see the future!
I comply. My fingers seem to go right through the surface. It's neither cold nor hot. Softly rough. I feel a slight shock, almost imperceptible.
What the...
You're connected to Reverie now. You'll be able to travel between our world and yours.
What do you mean, travel? I have so many questions.
Looks like you're searching for your mother. This'll point you in the right direction. Introducing the Augural. An amazing tool you can use to strategize and plan out the future.
I'm glad this has voice acting, and then like descriptive bits for me to read in between. I like that.
How do I use it?
The girl takes a sip of her drink and a few seconds to reply. Is this simply theatrics, or is she figuring out the best way to explain?
See for yourself, Sprout.
Sprout? Do you have a nickname? Did you have a nickname? Would you like a nickname? Let me know in a comment what your nickname was growing up, or if you currently have one. This tutorial will give you the knowledge you need to explore the story. The future is visible to you in the form of interconnected nodes. Each node contains a fragment of story you can choose to unveil. Close tutorial. The first node. A fragment of story appears on the right of the screen. What is this? Where am I? Use this information to plan your journey through the story. Close this tutorial. What happened? What the hell just happened?
The Augural allows you to see the future. That's this board, you know? Before today, time was linear for you. From now on, well, it dances to your tune.
It's incredible. How? How come I can do that?
I'm an aspiration. Me and my friends need a heart to exist. But our heart is weak. And you're special, Sprout. You can help us. You can save us all.
Bliss attempts a smile, but it looks forced, perhaps because I look so confused. For a moment, the words mean nothing to me. But why me? Why was the necklace in my mother's room? Could this Augural be the key to finding my mother?
Let's start with something easy. Truth or dare?
Truth or dare? Is she serious? The light in her eyes tells me so. She is serious. I mean, always go truth when playing truth or dare, because who wants to ever do a dare that someone comes up with when playing this silly game? Right? Truth always. It's always easier to just tell the truth than do something stupid. Also, let's be real, people only play that game to try and kiss someone. The symbol means that only one of the next two nodes can be played. The other will be blocked forever, forever, forever. Choose which part of the story you want to see unfold. None of this is real. Let's go with the flow. Don't know where this is going. Seems risky. I mean, but we're here in this world, so let's do a dare. I wonder how you can play this game with some kind of immortal child, but I accept.
Dare.
Dare! Show me the cutest picture of you.
Cutest? I guess I can do that.
That's actually a really cute dare. Bliss smiles. And just like that, I'm back home. I walk through the rooms and point to a picture. It's me, 6, dressed for the first day of school. Don't ask me about the costume.
OMG! Harmony, you're the cutest!
Everywhere I look, I see a good memory. Laszlo letting me play on the diving board while Ursula looked on in horror. Watching Nora drawing peacefully while Laszlo cooked. Why did I read that as choked? Was he just choked? Just carry on watching him. The few times Ursula let me have friends over for my birthday. Laszlo and Ursula cooking Nora's favourite meal while I finished my homework. I can't shake the strange feeling that I'm overseeing the future, learning the shape of my own path.
You're a natural. Look at you traveling between Brittle and Reverie like it's nothing.
Isn't it dangerous? Seeing the future.
Bathing in what's to come, or...
Melancholy is a powerful emotion. And this
If you could
place
see
is...
the future, would you want to? Would be a dangerous thing, wouldn't it? Not sure I would. When my dad left, Laszlo entered my life and carried me through the change. Carried all of us. And he brought along his granddaughter, Nora. She brought a rush of fresh, new energy. She electrified the place. We were an odd family, piecemeal, improvised, but whole. My family.
What just happened?
You made a choice. What rippled forward from it was unique and new. Take your time to understand what all this implies. New powers can take a bit of getting used to, you know? You just need to focus. Stay in the present.
The memories felt more real.
You asked, right? Isn't it dangerous to blah blah and all that? Well, duh. Yeah, of course it's dangerous to live in a time that's not yours. Simple fact. And that's why you need to focus. Feet on the ground, eyes ahead, deep breath, and look into the future.
Look into the future. Roads where we're going. Polly can catch a glimpse of the future, but entire parts of it remain hidden from her. Nodes with a mock symbol will hide all the nodes behind them. Hidden nodes cannot be interacted with. They conceal all information about the fragment they contain. You'll need to progress through the Augural until you reach this node to reveal it and see beyond. New face. I open my eyes again. The two paths have merged into
Go
one.
on, what do you see? What do you feel?
I sense a new being. A new force. It's getting closer.
That, I believe, would be me.
A tall silhouette comes into focus before my eyes. surrounded by electric blue fish dancing in the air. I knew Bliss was tiny, but now she looks positively minuscule.
I am power. An aspiration like our minuscule Bliss over there.
And aspirations, they're all like gonna be, I mean, I guess aspirations, but sort of feelings. Like the feeling of bliss, the feeling of power. He reads my mind too. I'm gonna have to work harder to keep them out of my head.
No offense, Bliss.
None taken. I'd prefer the term fun-sized.
A little laugh slips out of me. Suddenly this whole situation feels absurdly mundane, as though I've always been part of this.
You must be Harmony.
Harmony, what a name. Am I one of them?
You have seen how weak our heart is. It won't last long.
Usually I'm sad that I don't get to do the voices and read for everyone, but the voice acting is so good and it's adding so much character that I'm like, okay, cool, I actually really like it.
Great changes would come to pass. You might even call them cataclysmic.
Cats? You got some cats here? The ground beneath me suddenly feels shaky, unstable.
But what can I do? I'm just looking for my mother. I didn't ask for any of this.
You now know that chance does not exist. The futures laid out before you will force your hand. They will require you to make choices. Choices that are ruthless, difficult, even painful. Choose wisely, follow your objective, and your diligence will be rewarded with a valuable resource.
Okay.
Knew I forgot something. There's this energy called egregor, right? It's basically how we exist in your world. It kind of tastes like blue soda.
Egregor is rare and powerful. It is not to be drunk. Some choices you make will generate egregor and bind us together. Use it wisely.
What are you expecting from me?
The aspirations meet my doubts with a knowing look. I don't like that they can see my thoughts, read my intentions.
You got it. I can tell because your mind's gone all hard. Difficult to hear.
It looks like I'm getting better at pushing them away from what's in my head.
We have much more to tell you, but a good leader knows what to reveal and what to leave unsaid. For now, of course.
The two aspirations look at each other. Something is shared in that glance. An emotion, a memory. But I don't know what it is. I'll need to find out by myself.
The key is your mother, Harmony.
Her disappearance must be linked with what happened here.
A pause. They glance at each other.
Some of our number are lost. Scattered.
And we work better if we're a team.
How many of them are there?
But that's for later. Right now, the priority is your mother.
Exactly.
We must find her. Or else...
Your heart will get weaker?
The look in their eyes tells me I'm right.
Find your mother. Explore the futures.
The futures. I nod. The view from up here is stunning. My head feels heavy. So much has been dropped on me. So much. I need to close my eyes. A new objective node. So it wants me to try and... Oh, I like that I can... ASMR the screen. So it wants me to try and reach this one. You need to give one of us a goody good to get here. So maybe I'm gonna have to like pick which feeling I look, support Nora, warn Nora. Interesting. This is where we currently are. Back on Earth, was all of it real? kind of home. Choose one of the next two nodes. Sanctuary of Bliss or Sanctuary of Power. Okay. Can I, like, skip ahead, I wonder? Like, if I just clicked that, I could go. I'm sort of... Obviously, we want to go in order, I think. Okay, so let's go to the next node and see what happens. I can tell right away that I'm not in Reverie anymore. The sun over Atina is hot and dry. I stretch out my arms, feeling the muscles there resisting. A minute. I just need a minute to think this through. I came here to find my mother, discovered a necklace that transported me far away, and now I'm able to instantly travel between worlds and talk to gods.
Is that it?
Now I'm Polly again. That wasn't a dream. All my studies into the human mind, all my research, I've never heard of anything like this. It wasn't a seizure or hallucination. This was all the legends and tales my mother wrote about in her poetry, all the stories she told me as a kid. An invisible world's opened up in front of me with the Augural. I need to act. I need to embrace this. Two nodes blocked by a barrier. Crystals are required. The and what symbol show bliss or a power crystal to progress. So if I go over here, I'll get what I need. Okay. Break the corresponding barrier. Crystals can materialize in different forms depending on what aspiration they're bound to. Right. So let's go in here. I walk back inside. My head still swirling with words, names, predictions. And then... Nora. I can hear her footsteps outside the room. Knowing her, she's about to barge in. I rub my eyes and run my hands through my hair, trying to wake from... reverie?
Polly?
I can feel tears in my eyes, a sweet taste in my mouth, static electricity grazing my shoulders and arms.
Polly! You're here!
Nora! Come here!
She crosses the room and we hug. It's the first human contact I've had in months. She feels so good, so warm and familiar.
How are you?
Good! I mean, fine, considering what's going on.
It's okay. We'll find her. I know we will.
So much has happened.
Tell me.
Hold on, I need some coffee. It's keeping my brain from rotting.
She drinks coffee now. She's definitely older, a young woman. Oven. In the kitchen, Nora makes us both coffee and launches into, well, about 8 different stories at once, all tangled together. She hasn't changed, always carrying an entire world of plots and characters and charming adventures with her, a Nora-verse of energy.
And yeah, Grandpa's gone through all 5 stages of grief, though for a while I thought he was stuck on denial.
I smile as she hands over a huge mug filled to the brim with caffeine.
No.
Can she see you?
Oh, no. No, you're fine. Just don't start talking to yourself. Weirds people out.
I'm so sorry.
Occasionally.
I'm talking so much. Can't believe it's the first time you've been back in years.
Yeah, it's... you know.
Oh, I know. Things were difficult with Ursula.
It doesn't feel good to admit my mother always showed more love and affection to Nora than to me. I'm not jealous. Hey, that's always things too fast. It's hard to stop thinking about the reasons behind it. Was I harder to love?
But she'd been different lately. We had a fight before she went missing.
Ursula was upset with you.
Nora's always gotten along well with my mother. I can't remember the last time they fought.
Have you heard about all the job openings at MK?
Nora wants to join MK. A few months ago, she was telling me how intrusive and problematic they were.
The city's getting more expensive by the minute, and the pay's good, and it's interesting work, I guess. Did I mention the pay? Because, Paul, we're barely getting by here.
Paul.
And there's this school I'd like to go to. a rather expensive school, but Ursula felt I was betraying myself, and we had a fight, and I had to sleep at a friend's place for a couple of days.
It's like going to work at Facebook or something.
That bad?
I just needed some space, some air.
The shiver of static electricity is back through my fingers, up my back. The necklace feels lighter around my throat.
I know MK isn't perfect, but I can't live here forever. No way I can move out without a job.
MK isn't perfect, but is not a sentence I thought I'd hear from Nora's mouth.
What do you think?
As I think about how to answer, I feel the weight of the decision. This is the kind of choice Bliss was talking about. Okay. Well, let's, if we support Nora, we get Bliss. If we warn her, we get a power crystal. I feel like Bliss seems like an interesting character. Let's go down that route. And support our friend. I mean, do what you want. Like, there's no I'm not really for this whole, oh, I can't do a thing. You know, if you live that way, choose your battles. You know, some stuff it's worth it, but if you try and live that way all the time, you'll do nothing. You can't eat anything. You can't have no products. Everything is terrible, mostly. Like, there are some good things you can get and do, but it's just, you gotta do you sometimes and not worry about that stuff if it feels right to you or it helps in some way. You know? Because all the big companies are evil. What are you gonna do? Make your life super difficult and expensive and never buy from them? Sometimes you just got to, you know? As I open my mouth, I can feel Bliss's sparkling energy at my side.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I can feel it.
But what if I'm just telling her what she wants to hear, so I don't make her feel bad? To avoid saying something uncomfortable?
Everybody wants support for their accomplishments or their mistakes.
The words lift a weight off me. Bliss is right. It's not my place to pass judgment, is it? I smile at Nora. Especially in this situation where it's like someone else's choice. It's never, like, you can do what you want yourself and be like, oh, I don't shop here, I don't buy here, I don't support that, I don't support this. But telling other people what to do is like 100% where I draw the line. Never acceptable.
Money, responsibility, a chance for a fresh start. Maybe you should take it.
Seems like everyone hates MK except the people who work there. So maybe I'm missing something. And if I took a job there, I'd find out what. It's been hard. Laszlo and Ursula have always helped me out, but I want my own home now, my own life.
I smile, projecting warm affection and reassurance.
My goodness, I need another hug.
I nod and smile. She jumps forward into my arms.
I've missed you so much. You're always so supportive, so calm, so sure of yourself.
Nora can't see my face. She's missing the clouds of doubt passing before my eyes. Me? Sure of myself? It's probably the energy I've learned to give off. Inside me, though. Inside, my world is upside down.
This feels good.
It does.
Nora squeezes harder.
I'm sorry I didn't visit.
I squeeze back.
I was busy and I wanted to keep everything from here at a distance. A plant like me, well, it needs water and sunshine and distance from its parents.
Nora lets out a laugh. It's round and booming. That's the laugh I remember. Then she releases me. We're both recharged, both at
Come
peace.
on. I guess we should find Laszlo.
I could do with a drink.
Maybe passing out and forgetting about the necklace and those two weird... I stop the thought before it expands beyond my control. Family first. Because that's why I'm here, isn't it? Family. You just collected your first crystal. Crystals collected during a chapter are not kept when you move to the next one. Okay, crystal obtained, so then we can do this bliss crystal barrier. A pajama party. Bliss's unbreakable egg. Okay. When I return to my senses, I'm no longer an Athena. There's a warm blanket around my body, a soft whisper in my ear, and then a playful voice.
Finally! There you are! What you did back there, that was nice of you. Real nice.
The desert wind fans my hair out in front of my face. It's surprisingly sweet, almost invigorating. The aspiration beside me points to a building in the distance. Faint electronic music seems to radiate from the colourful walls.
Your place?
My crib. Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Inside, it's warmer, cozy, but loud, blaring with chimes and chip tunes and peppy, high-energy music.
Pull up a beanbag.
There I am, chilling, non blue this time.
Do you drink? Or
Do I need to? Nah. Do I want to? Course. Tasty's tasty.
I have to stay focused. Every time I look around me, this world seems completely implausible.
are you real? Or
Us lot, aspirations. We're the proof that you lot, humans, exist.
the proof we exist?
Yeah. You exist, so we exist. And if we exist, then...
Humans exist.
And that concludes our segment on philosophy.
Huh?
Try not to think about it too much.
That's reassuring somehow. Even the gods of this place don't know how it works.
Listen, you just need to see the Augural as a board game. You've got your resources, your goals, your supporting characters. It's just a game. Chillax, enjoy, have fun with it.
Chillax? No, she's deflecting.
Earlier, you said that this was serious. There could be consequences.
Sure, but I don't like the word consequences. Too many vowels. Don't much like vowel either.
Is everything a game to you?
No, not everything.
The aspiration's mood shifts immediately. The room feels a little darker, a little less cheery.
The future isn't. The future is important, vital, and the future, our future, is in your hands.
The Augural.
Aspirations have been around since the dawn of humankind. We've guided you, and we've been guided by you.
We're connected.
More than connected. You exist because we exist. And the other way round as well. If we die, you die. And I don't want to die. No siree.
There's a break. A silence filled by the sounds of Bliss's sanctuary. Enough for Bliss to wordlessly express that she's talked enough.
Fine. I'll explore the future.
There I am, pink bear. Just pretend it's a bear. I think it's actually a bunny, but it's pink.
Yeah!
Claiming it.
Have fun with it. I'll be around, listening, chiming in. Unless I'm in the middle of a game, of course.
Of course.
Classic gamer. Once outside, I pause for a moment, watching an immovable sun casting its light onto the bunker. And it hits me. Aspirations aren't good or bad, noble or evil. They are what they are. All of them. Representations of the fallible, malleable human psyche. Should I join forces with Bliss, power, another aspiration? It's up to me to decide. Cool. I mean, would you choose Bliss or power in terms of an aspiration? I guess Bliss is like basically this little pocket rocket of dopamine and colors and stuff that feels good. So I would choose that over power. Whatever's brewing here, it's big. Bigger than my mother disappearing. I step closer to the heart of Reverie. Its blue flames don't seem to burn.
Hey, you still here?
I turn around. Bliss is standing right in front of me.
Didn't mean to scare you. Sorry.
There's more to it than she's ready to share. I can sense it.
This is a lot. Are you real? Is any of this real? Or
First, thanks. Nightmare indeed. Second, it's very real, Sprout.
I just need a minute.
It's okay. Really. We're really impressed by everything you've done so far. Soon, you'll be able to see even further on the Augural.
How far ahead?
Depends on your choices, on who you side with, on what happens.
You wouldn't want to see too far now. She's uncomfortable.
I can tell you don't exactly trust me, even if I can't read your mind anymore.
Let's be honest here.
You mentioned my mother. As soon as I stepped into all this, you knew. And you wanted me to find her. What's going on with her? Do you know Ursula?
Can Aspirations breathe? Because if so, Bliss just took the biggest gulp of air ever.
Ursula was here before, in your shoes, in this place, wearing this necklace. And she tried to do everything you've been doing today, and...
She failed.
she wasn't the right person. Why? I can't tell you directly.
For every mystery solved, 2 secrets are added.
Whatever happened, it broke us. It almost ruined Reverie. And we forgot. Our minds, our bodies were twisted and erased.
I turn away from Bliss. A minute, I just need a minute. Today's been a string of stolen minutes.
We need your help. And you need ours. There's an aspiration called truth.
Yawn.
They know a lot. I mean, of course.
Let's hang out with Bliss. Let's just have non-stop dopamine. We don't need the truth.
If you could find a way to save them, it would mean the world to us. I know it's unfair to ask you to go out there without any more information.
It'll be okay. I understand the stakes. And I'll do my best.
I give her a tentative smile. I need to get back to Nora, meet with Laszlo, search for my mother and this truth. No time to lose. Select a past node to display an overview of its content. The game saved automatically after you just passed. Restart a chapter from the start as long as it's not been completed. Okay, so if I wanted to, you could go back and you could do the power side, but I'm pretty happy with our choices on this one. End chapter. An act overview appears when you reach the end of a chapter, composed of several chapters, each having its own objective. The act overview is a simplified version of all the chapters composing an act. This is the objective you've just completed by helping Nora. There's 13 of them. An outcome. Unlocked by crystals you collect throughout the chapters. At the end of the chapter, all the crystals you've collected are automatically transferred to outcomes. Unlocking an outcome generally requires a large number of crystals. At the end of the act, you pick an outcome. So it looks like I'm either going to be siding with Bliss or Bond and Power. Bliss. Return should mean hope. Joy, sadness is what's stopping this place from thriving. This place needs a guiding hand, harmony, someone to show the way. Power. Okay. Act 1, Chapter 2. Familiar face. Foreign emotion. This will trigger a revelation. Revelations unveil nodes still invisible to Polly on the Augural. See the link expanding icon. They point to the nodes that will be revealed. So if we do that, it'll reveal stuff all the way up here. It's quite a jump. It's pretty big, this thing. And up ahead we have a Bond crystal and a Bliss crystal. Seamer's Creek. I look up at the sky, the clouds floating by, obscuring the newly revealed stars. Familiar but unknowable, beautiful but ever-changing.
I came out here for like
Jesus,
2
let me
hours
jump.
last week.
Nora.
I believe it.
They suck you in, don't they? Especially when the sea's calm and you can see them reflected down there.
I look over at her, neck craned upwards, a half smile on her lips. She seems calmer. I'm glad.
All right. Time to rip off the bandage. Let's go see Laszlo.
I'll be at your side.
I know you will.
She lowers her gaze from the heavens to look me in the eye.
You haven't seen him the last few days? Full-on denial. It's killing me to see him like this.
Sounds rough. But we'll find a way. Right?
That wins me another smile, clearer this time.
They are so expensive. And I'm broke, just so you know.
We walk through the streets of our childhood, laughter bouncing off the old familiar walls. We chat as we go. We're sad that one store closed, amazed that another has managed to stay open. We laugh, a godsend considering the circumstances. But the further we walk, the worse the flickers get. Oh, I just spilled some ice-cold water down me. Bit of a shock, but quite nice, all things considered. Images of other places, impossible places, reverie. Birds flutter about my head, phasing in and out of reality. A kindly voice calls my name. And then he's there, in front of me.
Greetings. Oh, did I startle you?
Where am I? Who are you?
The name's
Another
Bond.
aspiration.
Bond.
Exactly. I'm Bond. My siblings keep forgetting about me. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
No. I guess I'm getting used to it. I feel at home, somehow.
Naturally. My path is one of community, friendship, and empathy. My mangrove forest is a place of warmth and safety. And I am an excellent host. The journey before you, Harmony, is one with many roads and even more destinations. I am here to guide you towards those that lead to understanding, not conflict.
I know this won't be as simple as that, unfortunately.
Oh, you mean your mother.
Oh, go back.
I don't wish to keep you. Before you go,
Previous.
I have but one piece of advice.
You mean your mother? I know you'll find a way to see eye to eye with her. So she's around. Fat chance, but sure. Let's pretend that's even remotely possible. Sorry, there's a misclick. That's why I wanted to use the auto text, but it's too fast. I know you can change the speed, but I'll just be more careful with my fingers.
Then your journey may be one of discovery, not destruction.
Bum, 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 bum. This soundtrack is really immersive and setting the scene. Before I can reply to this newest aspiration, I blink, and I'm back on Atina.
Turns out he wasn't even talking to me. Can you believe it? What an idiot. Well, we're here.
She's right. Laszlo's bar. I give her a reassuring nudge and we head to the counter. This place hasn't changed at all, except it's a little messier. A lot messier, in fact. But the rest, the ramshackle seating, the sticky counter, the rumble of the tram line overhead. This place always felt like a second home to me. And there, tending bar.
Polly, you're here. I'm so glad you're finally here.
Laszlo. He leaves the counter and comes over. Before I can react, he's grabbed me in a bear hug. My phone jams up into my ribs and I force a smile.
My word, it's good to see you, Polly. You look like a strong breeze would knock you over. Are you eating? Here, look, I've got snacks behind the bar.
Nora rolls her eyes. She wasn't wrong. His smile is too wide, his voice a bit too loud. Laszlo is a jolly fellow, but this is a bit too jolly for the situation. Why? Okay. Several objective nodes have been revealed. It's impossible to gather crystals required to complete both objectives. You'll have to make a decision. Will you follow Bliss or Bond? Bond. Bond, Bond, Bond. So we have Bliss. You haven't seen each other for ages. Take it easy. Serious stuff can wait. Bond. Family tree is a fragile thing. Be careful how you handle it. I'm really getting that Bliss is this kind of ADHD. No, don't worry about it. Look over here. Everything's great. Everything's fine. And that following that path all the way through would probably lead to absolute destruction and a real mess. You know, like in this situation, take it easy. Serious stuff can wait. Don't worry about it. A family tree is a fragile thing. Like, the thing to do would be to take care of your family, wouldn't it, really? But so for the end, we need Laszlo finally talks to Nora. He's hiding his emotions, strengthen his bonds with the people he loves, with 2 bliss crystals for conditions or 5 bliss crystals for consequences. Or Bond, someone goes away, the community falls apart, bring it back together, let it heal in unity. Laszlo opens up to his friends. So Bliss would result in him talking to Nora, and Laszlo talking to his friends would be Bond. I mean, I feel like I would rather he talked to Nora. So maybe I will continue on with the Bliss path here. Lots of choices. Laszlo bustles off to grab some unneeded snacks, and I turn to take in the place. It really is exactly the same, minus the extra mess. I can only see one thing that's really changed. The photo of Ursula that used to hang behind the bar. It's gone.
Here we go, a Polly special on the house.
He's brought over an armful of snacks and drinks, including several of my favourite brands. A Tina Maid and Spicy.
Ooh, right down memory lane.
Wait, I forgot something. Don't move.
Okay. Something's afoot. With Laszlo fussing about behind the counter, Nora smiles and goes over to chat with some regulars. There are a few faces I recognize, names bubbling up from the fog of forgotten memory. Laszlo's friends. They look older, shrunken almost. Snippets of conversation drift my way. He's not been the same these last few days. What's wrong with him? I turn my head away. I don't need to hear anymore. They're worried too. I need to do something. Inevitable. You have no choice but to play this when it becomes available. I try to strike up a conversation with him, but he immediately launches into a discussion of Alma's politics and the price of importing beer. I let him do the talking. It feels good to hear him talk about mundane things.
Did Nora tell you about the storm a while back?
I've seen pictures. How bad was it?
Bit of flooding around the island, but the walls held and the roof barely leaked at home. Nora helped board up the bar. We had a good laugh at all the drowned drones the next day. Spotted some MK folks trying to scoop them up before they floated out to sea.
Competitive drone fishing.
He smiles. His face relaxes.
The sport where nobody wins.
That was the inevitableness. Okay. Take him for a walk or a helping hand. Let's go for a walk. A walk always clears your mind. The best thing to do if you're ever feeling any kind of way, just go for a walk. Music or not in your ears, it doesn't matter, whatever you need. Get moving, get outside, get some fresh air, see some sights. Walk to your nearest park or pond. That's what I do. Find a bench, chill for 10, walk back. Things will be slightly better. This is going to be tough. Laszlo's open and generous, but when it comes to his feelings, not so much. It could be hard to get through to him. I wait until he's busy with a customer to talk to Nora.
Okay, I've got a plan.
Tell me.
His friends are here. You're here. There's no way I'm getting him to open up in this place.
But if you took him on a little walk somewhere...
Exactly.
I knew there was a reason we called you back. Polly and her brilliant ideas.
She leans over the bar and grabs a soda, popping it open and hoisting it in cheers.
Good luck.
Laszlo's hands, wrapped in a rag, smooth the fabric around and inside of a pint glass. I thought he was fixing snacks. I touch him gently and he flinches. Pain and turmoil flash across his face, but he catches himself, and the plastic smile returns.
Come on. Let's take a walk.
What do you mean? You just got here. And the bar.
Nora can watch the bar for a few minutes. Come on. Just around the block. I want to see how it's changed.
He stares glassy-eyed into space before returning to the here and now. Nodding, he ever so gently places the glass on the counter. A few moments later, we're strolling arm in arm. I can feel the tension in his grip, in his stride. But I can get through to him. I know I can. Revocation. It will block access to other nodes forever. Select a node with a revocation to see the nodes that will be... I mean, I'm not going to remember any of this. It's telling me like it's going to be a tutorial that I'm going to remember what these things are, but I'm just going to make choices, to be honest. Ask him how he feels. It's a bold move. He hates talking about his feelings, but time's up. Ask him about Nora. The way he acts around her tells me there's more going on than meets the eye. Revokes be gentle. Okay. Consequence. Revoke be gentle. So if I go this side, it cuts off the bliss side, so I guess I'll come over here. We like a bit of bliss. We wander a while longer. Neither of us says a word. But enough is enough. I decide a bold move is the right one.
How are you, Laszlo? With everything. Ursula.
Oh, you know. It is what it is.
He beams an uncanny megawatt smile.
I came here such a long time ago, I sometimes forget how complicated life was before.
We slow and stop. He unhooks his arm from mine. The scene below is beautiful. The rising moon floating above a motionless sea.
On a Tina, it sometimes feels like you could just go for a swim and let your problems dissolve in the ocean.
I know the feeling.
I know you do. You're from this place, after all.
Okay. Be gentle. We stare out across the water, not moving, hardly breathing. The air is surprisingly still. The smells of the approaching night wash over us. Lamb, spices, cigarettes.
How are you? Really?
He sighs, a deep exhaustion tinged with sleepless nights and fear. When it's done, he stands unmoving, head cocked to the sky. Just as I'm about to ask again, he relents.
Honestly, Polly, I'm relieved.
That's not what I was expecting.
Sounds terrible, doesn't it? I knew something was up. She was acting strangely at home. Like when you were young. Not enough for me to say anything. You know how she gets. But different. Something was definitely coming.
He smiles weakly. That's all I'm getting for now, but it's enough. He takes my arm again and we head back to the bar. Laszlo really said, I hope you're ready for nothing. May the sun return soon. Night has fallen. The place is almost empty apart from Laszlo's friends and a phone browsing Nora. A lot of texts. I'm curious. It's not my place to investigate. At least, not now.
It has been a day.
Definitely a day.
Tomorrow's creeping up on us already.
He nods his head at me, but this time it's genuine. There's a faint sparkle in his eyes. His armor isn't gone, but the straps have loosened. It's a start. Really good voice acting, really nice writing so far. Like, I'm genuinely enjoying reading it. I feel like I feel when I read the podcast and I'm reading books. It feels really nice to read. YouTube.com/downtosleep, Patreon.com/downtosleep. Down to Sleep wherever you get podcasts. For bedtime stories. Read by me. Laszlo finally talks to Nora. He listened to his heart at last. So because I've got three bliss crystals, I can do the 2-1 for conditions. Consequences would be... Oh wait, gain... Oh, okay, so I gain 5, sorry. I thought that was like an unlock that I needed 5, but I see now it says gain, because blind. I have 2, so I can do it. I don't have 2 bond crystals, so I can't actually do it. God, can't speak today. The heat wave this week's cooked my brain, I swear. He says, everyone knowing that he reads poorly this way all the time, right after promoting his podcast. Oh, what an idiot. By the time the last of the regulars shuffle off, I'm about ready to collapse onto the very cobbles below me. Nora hefts the remaining chairs up and into the storage locker. I make a token effort, but I'm exhausted. More hindrance than help. When we're done, Laszlo reaches up to close the shutter and freezes. He turns, looks Nora dead in the eye.
Nora, sweetheart,
He takes a step toward her.
I'm so sorry. We're broke. Flat broke. The Naiads. We've run out of track. I don't know what else to do.
Run out.
Money's tight, Polly. Very tight. I can't keep that from you any longer. And now that
Now she's disappeared, I don't know what to do. And I'm scared.
Nora takes a moment to absorb the information, a multitude of emotions flashing across her face. Without saying a word, she crosses to her grandfather and the two embrace. There's no crying, no words, just 2 people alone against the world. No, not 2, not anymore. 3. The objective nodes may generate consequences that impact later chapters of the story. They will give you access to entire branches of the future and cut you off from others. Keep in mind. End of chapter. I like how each little node is quite short too. So you sort of make a choice or you click something and then it's like a little 2-minute thing and then you're on to the next choice. Kind of keeps the pace going. You've chosen a path laid out before you by an aspiration, but the future might still be in your hands. Outcomes may have greater consequences than objectives. Will you stay on the same path, or would you rather change the course of the future? Okay. I get like what's happening here, but I actually couldn't see myself, unless something terrible happened, really going back and trying a different path. I'd kind of just like make the choice and then go with it, I think. Polly's room. A new day dawns. Consciousness returns slowly. And as I open my eyes, they feel like hot marbles rolling in their sockets. Yesterday was more intense than I'd imagined. Reconnecting with Laszlo took an emotional toll I'm not sure either of us was ready for. I check the clock. Past 10. Late. 5 more minutes won't hurt. But as my eyes close, there's a flicker, and I'm back in reverie. I open them. I'm at home, in bed. This is becoming intolerable. I wait a few moments to see if the sensation returns, but it leaves me be for now. Time to get up.
Are you sure you saw it in here?
Yes, it was by the sink. I was listening to my podcast.
Oh, down to sleep on Spotify and YouTube and everywhere you get good podcasts. I heard it's pretty decent. Nora, thanks.
Researching about the Oxyons, are you?
No, she was listening to bedtime stories, Laszlo.
I'm sure there's a connection between them and Ursula and... Oh! Morning, sleepyhead.
It looks like the two of them have been up for a while. For Laszlo, that's not a surprise, but Nora's usually a night owl. Breakfast is all laid out. Banana crepes, hazelnut, sesame paste, fresh mango, my favourites.
How are you two this awake already?
Already? It's nearly lunch.
Grandpa, tell her!
Tell me what?
No, you do it.
We have a lead! On Ursula.
Alrighty. The next node's barrier was removed after you reached the last chapter's objective. The other is forever inaccessible. You might not see consequences of an objective node until much later. Ah, okay. So we have sharing secrets, which we can do because Laszlo talked to Nora. So we can't do that one. Someone in the crowd. We have to do sharing secrets. It takes a few seconds for my mind to adjust to what I just heard. Laszlo, Nora and I stayed up late chatting, just the three of us. Here I am, feeling hungover after only a few drinks. Oh, to be 20 again.
I just remembered something. A girl who used to come here often before Ursula disappeared.
She came to meet with Ursula. Several times, in fact. I asked who she was, and your mother said she was a journalist, interested in publishing some of her poems.
Which is weird. Nobody publishes poetry nowadays.
And they just write it on TikTok videos.
I have to admit that Ursula hasn't sold a single text in decades.
Poetry's dead, I guess.
Anyway, I didn't push it. Assumed your mother would tell me the truth when she was ready. But then
she disappeared off the face of the earth.
I mentioned her to Nora, but...
I don't follow the magazines around here. Not a big reader, unfortunately. But something about her sounded familiar, you know? Grandpa actually gave a pretty detailed description.
She's pretty memorable.
At first, I was a bit puzzled, and then I remembered who it might be. Jade.
Okay.
Jade. Jade Galea?
I'm a little behind on Atenan politics, Nora.
Okay, fine. She's quite famous around here. She's organized a lot of protests.
Something is shining in her eyes. A sense of joy, excitement. Not sure exactly what, but it's nice to see.
I follow her on all the socials. We've never talked as such, but we have a bunch of mutuals. I sent her a message this morning, but no reply. But my friends, her friends, they'll know where she is, for sure.
She's also the editor of a local magazine, probably where she was going to publish the poems. There's only one printer like that on Athena. We could check there, see if they know where we could find her.
We've got options. It's a good start. A really good start. Okay. Decision. Yep, symbol indicates the node is locked. You need the key. Right. Tell Nora to act natural. So, my choice is explore the printing room, an underground printing room, or find Jade's friends. Nora won't have trouble asking them for info. And then those lead us into one of these, where we then end up with the key, which will either lead to Ursula and MK, or Jade's personal issues. I want to know more about this MK, to be honest, so we're going to go this way and explore an underground printing press. Her business contacts are more likely to have forwarding addresses and such. I decide to focus on the other lead.
Let's check the printers.
All right, I'll get my keys and we'll head out.
Let's go.
Gang, gang, gang. Tram, tram, tram. This place isn't far. It's a ramshackle house that for all intents and purposes appears to be abandoned. Still, when we rap on the door, someone opens up. Someone who is most certainly not happy to see us. She looks to be about my age. As soon as Laszlo mentions Jade, she jams a finger to her lips and points to the sky. Several drones hover above the street, searching for something or just on patrol. Nora and I nod and stroll a little way down the street. As soon as the drone moves on, Laszlo disappears inside.
Any idea what this Jade might have wanted with Ursula?
Is that suspicion I detect?
Come on. It's a little weird, right? A stranger at the Naiads, a journalist of all things, and then my mother disappears.
If it were anyone else, yeah, sus. But this is Jade. She's got to be the most active activist on the island. Plus, she has, like, moral scruples.
Is it just me, or is Nora starting to sound like Jade's #1 fan?
I've got a good feeling about this. About Jade.
Sure you do.
If we find her, she'll help if she can. I know it.
Laszlo emerges from the house and strides over, a big grin on his face. Okay. Nora and Laszlo told you about the threat the company poses. Laszlo has more information about Jade. Reveals one node. Have one power crystal. Ah, okay. So here I'm finding out more about MK, but I can do it because I have that one power crystal. I guess if I didn't have it, I would have to do this one to go in the same way. And then what node is that opening up there? Wink. That one. I mean, I guess I'll ask about the room. This all feels a little clandestine. Almost cloak and dagger stuff.
What was up with the stealth tactics? Isn't that place just a print shop?
Yes and no.
Very insightful.
Print's the only way to stay off grid these days. Anything online is monitored by MK.
Even text messages. Regular at the bar sent one to his friend, joking about bombing the station if his train was late. Same evening, couple of goons dragged him off for interrogation. 17 hours they kept him.
No. Surely that's illegal.
Sure, if you don't own the police, what's left of the police.
MK could shut that place down right now if they even suspected they were printing inappropriate material. I don't think there's anything more inappropriate than Jade stuff. Just last month, she had a big piece on the water networks, how MK was planning on dumping raw sewage where it contaminates the supply and adding a surcharge to clean it. It was all over the socials. MK dropped the whole thing. All because of Jade.
Impressive, but I'm realizing that I'm absolutely out of the loop about Athena. Whatever's happening here never reached my ears.
I remember that story. But they caught the guy and fired him, right?
Jade's been proving that MK's using scapegoats to make it look like they're improving. The culprit goes live, apologizes, cries, and nothing changes.
That's a fucked up system.
Laszlo keeps throwing glances at the print shop, shifting on his feet. Then he points to a direction above my shoulder.
So, we're going this way.
Where to?
The skate park. That's where Jade is going to be.
Nora and I stop.
You know where she is?
Yeah. The owner told me. I smiled, and she gave me the info.
Laszlo, you devil. To the skate park. We're walking through the streets. Laszlo's in front, a smile on his face. Nora and I are behind, trying to keep up with him.
So, did the owner know what Jade was working on? Might have something to do with why she was talking to Ursula.
She said, far as she could tell, Jade was on a big MK investigation. Something to do with a public health program? No specifics, though. Jade hadn't delivered the copy.
Nora almost shudders.
Nothing that could go wrong there.
Doesn't sound like anything Ursula would have a hand in.
I can sense something surrounding us, like a warm blanket. Is one of the aspirations trying to reach me? But as I try to focus on it, it disappears. You've unlocked this node. You can now access it normally. Jade's personal issues. Ursula and MK unlocked by Jade's investigation. So because I didn't do the other one and get that key, I have to just do MK, right? Nodes can also make you lose crystals when you reach them. This node will make you lose 1 bond crystal and 1 power crystal. Interesting. There's a shard. There's a shared chain. There's a shared charge between us, unconscious but evident. Each of us is looking over our shoulders more, checking the skies for drones, our surroundings for eavesdroppers, like a spy on my own island.
Doesn't surprise me that your mother might be involved in something to do with that bloody company.
No, me neither. Remember those papers she wrote when I was a kid? MK didn't like...
Ursula was protesting MK.
Not directly. Her work was all about ancient history, historical accounts, Oxyon stuff. MK didn't like any of that, but it was a very different beast back then. Barely a pop.
Either way, she was no fan of Monoconcern, or what it was doing to Athena. Her and Jade teaming up to take them down. Yeah, I can see that.
But without telling us? Your mother is a secretive person, sure, but she would have said something.
Are you sure about that? I turn to Nora. She looks like she agrees. People have their secrets. We head to the skate park. The streets are quieter now, with rush hour long since over. A stray dog trots alongside us for a moment, sniffs my hand, then wanders off. Jade's a long shot, but she's our only shot. Besides, Laszlo claims he has a plan.
All right, out with it then.
Posters.
Posters. Of Ursula.
Exactly. Look, your mother may not be the best-known woman on this island, but she has connections.
Hello, darling, I'm missing.
Hell, the Naiads is basically a community center, and everyone at the bar knows her. We get her face up everywhere, tell people to contact us. We're bound to get something back.
Nora and I share a glance. This feels good. It could work.
And if we do find this Jade, well, we could run an ad in that magazine of hers.
Use her network to spread the word even further.
Exactly.
That sounds like a pretty good way to piss off MK.
Yeah. But we get closer to MK as well.
The more we learn, the more Ursula's disappearance becomes shrouded in mystery. Was it really the result of politics? Did she get herself into something she couldn't get out of? And is creating a public scandal really the best way to find our answers? Local poet disappears. MK does nothing. They won't say or do anything. They're already getting away with much, much worse.
Eyes on the prize. You're getting closer, right? You're making moves.
We are making moves. Maybe Nora and Laszlo are right. Maybe this will work out.
Keep that momentum going. Reverie still needs you.
Bliss suddenly becomes absorbed in her handheld console, focused on mashing 2 specific buttons as fast as possible. This glimpse of her undivided concentration is impressive, but it doesn't seem to be going as she planned.
No! Ugh. Can you try to wrap it up before I rage quit this game?
Bliss must know that I can't answer right now.
Also, you didn't hear this from me, but Power's getting all ceremonial about the truth situation.
I'd like to ask what that even means, but I can't. And anyway, She's already gone. Right, so, Jade. When we get to the skate park, how should we approach her? Keep it straightforward or try to befriend her. So befriending unlocks Trust Jade and gaining 1 bliss crystal. Straightforward unlocks Take the Lead. And then what are we doing? Approving Laszlo's plan. Listen to Jade's plan. Leading to consequences of let's keep it secret. You need to protect yourself and your loved ones first with bliss crystals. Persuade Jade to network. She's got strong ties to Alma's activist community. They could help. Create a public scandal. People need to know about Ursula's disappearance with power. Okay. Or Nora gets impatient, which unlocks a bunch of mystery nodes, it looks like. Is where we can go to after those. I reckon keep it straightforward. I feel icky like trying to befriend someone for something, for a purpose. It feels manipulative. So even though that would lead to a bliss crystal, we're just going to keep it straightforward because, I don't know, it's not how I roll. We arrive at the skate park. My heart sinks. It's deserted. Not a single soul in sight. I'm about to suggest we come back later when I hear a squeak from Nora. It's Jade, emerging from behind a half-pipe. She's a stranger to me, but there's no mistaking that posture. She looks exhausted. Simple and to the point. That's the way to do this.
Ah, Jade?
The young woman's guard is immediately up. No doubt she's used to being recognized and suspicious of who we might be.
Can I help you?
This is Nora and Laszlo. I'm Polly, Ursula's daughter, from the Naiads. My mother is missing, and we were wondering if you could help us.
The young woman says nothing. Her face is shut down. Is this shock?
We know you visited her a few times at home before she disappeared.
Or she could be assessing us, trying to judge whether or not we're for real.
We were just wondering if you could tell us what you talked about. If it involved monoconzern at all.
Jade remains silent. Suddenly she turns her head and looks me straight in the eye.
When did she disappear exactly? What was she like the day before? Was she acting strange?
This isn't the passionate Jade I've heard about. She feels cold, analytical. The opposite of the energetic, driven fire starter I'd imagined.
Look, I'm sorry to press you on this. I really am, but we really need to know if you two were planning anything beyond the poetry.
She moves closer, and she's still not answering.
Who's the last person who saw her?
For a moment, I don't know what to do. But she must be asking these questions for a reason, same as us. Perhaps I need to listen to her, hear her out. Okay, an inevitable node is only active when its conditions are cleared. This one, it will only activate if you collect a bliss crystal. Okay. So I can gain some bliss crystals here. And I want to have 3 by the time I get to here if I want to keep a secret and protect my family. Which is probably the option I would do. I answer Jade's questions as best as I can, but I have to stifle my impatience. This is getting us nowhere. Let me the one supposed to be asking the questions. When do I manage to get in when I do manage to get in a question, Jade deflects with another. Every time I answer, she asks for more details. She's not being aggressive. She's defending herself, making sure we can be trusted,
Listen
perhaps.
to me. Don't fight her.
I know. I'm trying.
The real problem is I can see Nora crossing her arms and scowling. She's annoyed and getting dangerously close to the boiling point. So now I have that crystal, I can go back here to Nora gets impatient. Or wait until she's done, she'll be grateful you did, and befriend her. Or enough, don't let her trample all over you and do power for straightforward. Ah, so I can actually only do that one because this one's locked, because I did that one, okay. Or we swoop back over here to Nora Impatient. Let's do that one and see what these mystery ones are. Why not? From the corner of my eye, I can see Nora standing frozen. Her usual electric fidgeting has stilled. Jade's up close now, arms crossed, straight backed, every bit the investigative journalist. This isn't the badass Nora expected. As Jade continues to hammer questions at us, I see Nora's shoulders set, her face turned down. She's not just disappointed, she's getting defensive. I don't really blame her, but this is a delicate conversation. Can we risk her getting on edge? So that's that first one, and now it's unlocked these mystery nodes. Nora loses her cool, but I need to have 2 bliss crystals to do that. Which I don't. But if I had done the befriend, then I would have got that other bliss crystal, but yeah. If I ask her to use her network, though, I'll gain 2, right? Oh, that's locked. Okay, well I have to take the lead then. I decide to go first, focus on my goal.
We really need to know why you were talking to Ursula. She told us you were interested in publishing her poetry, but given all that's happened, well, I don't think that's the half of it.
I catch Nora glancing over, eyes burning. Did I overstep the mark? Was she about to question our new friend here?
Fine. I was doing another investigation into MK, and Ursula was helping. We believe the company was dipping its toes into medical care, or a public health program. A couple of neighborhood kids said an MK agent had offered them coupons and free samples. Said it was to test a new product line. They call it Egregore.
Oh.
They claimed
Interesting. She sighs, rubs her forehead.
it was going to help them with exams, stress, clarity of mind, and
Clarity of mind. Egregore. That feels like something out of Reverie, honestly. But how?
that's all I know.
I know why she turned to Ursula.
Wait. You contacted my mother because of her work on the Oxyons, on the history of Athena, right?
I only stumbled across them by chance. Sounds like MK tried to have them burned. But a few copies survived. They were the only other references to Egregore I've ever found.
MK knew about Ursula all along. Are they the reason she disappeared? Dun 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 dun! The Reverie world's crossing over. Okay, so that's now unlocked, so I can ask to use her network and gain 2 bliss crystals. If we talk about printing posters, it revokes Nora loses her cool. Let's do this one so we get the crystals and we can keep it open if we want. Jade seems more engaged now, her body language less hostile, her expression more responsive. I let her speak.
I'm not one for betting, but if I were, I'd bet this whole island that MK has their fingers in this pie.
Maybe you could... Nora said you had a huge following. Online?
Did she?
Nora's enjoying this, I can tell.
Well, I wouldn't say huge. Sizable, though, yeah.
Could you put the word out? Through the networks? Someone might know something. Might have seen something. My mother wasn't exactly an unknown quantity in Alma. Maybe someone saw her leave?
Jade immediately looks away, refusing to meet any of our eyes.
Well, that's tricky, isn't it?
It is?
Yeah, those networks. They're the lifeblood of Atina's resistance. If I go making them a fact-finding posse, well, MK's gonna shut that down quick as you like.
That's an excuse if I ever heard one. She doesn't want to get involved. Okay. So I have the option to listen to her plan, approve Laszlo's plan, or I can come down here now, and because I have those other crystals, Nora can lose her cool. Nora strides forward.
Enough, alright, enough!
Uh-oh.
We've been going out of our minds with worry for days. We heard you might be the sort of person who'd want to help. Help when people are lost, but you're just digging for details. Is the story all you care about? We don't need that. Come on, Paul. If she's not gonna help us, we'll find someone who will.
Jade's a stranger to us and a journalist to boot. A hardened shell is practically a job requirement. But Nora's words have caught her off guard. She steps back, arms hanging loose at her side. So then we have Shush Nora. Don't let her upset Jade. Gain a bliss crystal. Bond. Respect the emotions she's feeling. We already have the 3 bliss crystals for the keep it a secret if we want, so let's go with Bond. I like this option. Feel your feelings, girl. It's clear Nora has more to say. I keep quiet. We've all been through the ringer of late. This might help her relieve some pressure.
I knew I shouldn't have gotten so... But who you are, what you do, you seem to be doing so much good around here. I really don't have words for it, so I thought... But I understand. I'm in no position to ask for more. Let's go.
Nora.
Jade's eyes have misted over. There are tears there, welling up to the edges.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to... Oh, hell.
It's okay. It is. Don't
You
worry
made her
about
cry, Nora. The hard edge has evaporated almost completely. Jade wipes her eyes, then her nose.
it. The last few days, they've been a lot. The last few months even. Harder than anything I could...
She looks up, trying to force her tears back down. Okay. Nora gave you an opportunity to learn more about Jade. I need 3 bond crystals. I have those. Lose 2 bliss crystals. No thank you. Okay, let's do that.
Maybe I can help. Maybe. Ursula was involved in some stuff, talking about her disappearance in public. Yeah, probably not a good idea. Last thing I need is more MK heat. Same goes for you lot.
Relief crackles through my spine, lightening an unseen load. She's going to help us. Nora has retreated into silence. Knowing her, she's probably regretting her outburst, but it got us what we needed.
I don't know about this MK stuff. But if you can help me find my Ursula... well, that's the only thing that matters.
I'm sorry if I was harsh. You know, fighting against MK is like pushing away a glacier. No matter how hard we work, it's useless.
Nora looks like she's still wallowing in shame. We'd both mistaken Jade's cold demeanor for callous disinterest. Turns out she's struggling much like we are. Alright. And that takes us through to keep it a secret. We can't risk it. We can't risk a war with MK.
We keep the search secret. Quiet. For now.
Oh, but...
Laszlo, I know, but we can't risk it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're probably right. Just feels like we're sitting on our hands.
Jade seems to approve.
I haven't seen Ursula in almost 5 years now. I can't guess what she was up to, or where she went.
For a moment I can tell Jade's trying to figure out exactly what I mean. It looks like she's itching to ask more about my relationship with my mother, but opts not to pry.
You can never really know anyone. Trust me. Found that out the hard way. I had to learn how to trust people. MK's everywhere.
That's rough.
In a way, it only goes to show why I fight. And against who.
The tension seems to break. End of school day vibes wash over the otherwise empty park.
Well then, I'd better, make myself scarce.
Us too. We should get back to the Naiads.
Here's my number. Call me if I can help.
She flashes her phone screen at Nora, who pulls out her own phone and types in the number. Well, there you go, Nora. You got your biggest celebrity crush idol person's number in your phone now. As it turns out, Jade lives near the Naiads. We agree to walk back together. For the first time, I notice what a beautiful day it is. The sun warming my skin, the breeze flicking at loose strands of my hair. We meander through Alma, the four of us. It feels almost tranquil.
It's not easy for someone to go missing on this. Everyone knows everyone and everything. Alma's a small world. You'll find her. Problem is, you've got MK between where you are now and where you want to be. No way you're avoiding a tussle.
When I left Atina, mono concern was background noise, a detail in our lives. Now they're a juggernaut, unchallenged, inescapable. I've realized I'm angry. Resentment burns in me each and every time I hear that name. We turn a corner. The Naiads float into view. Nora crosses the path to walk alongside Jade.
Didn't mention it before, but I think I was approached by those MK goons you mentioned, the public health project guys.
Shit. Egregore and everything.
Yeah.
Was this the job she told me about?
Listen, you didn't ask for it, but here's my advice. You see them coming again? You run, or tell them to fuck off, or scream at them, or whatever. But do not take their money, Nora. I'm serious.
No, yeah, I wasn't going to.
I've heard rumors. People who came back the very opposite of healthy. And ones who never came back at all.
There have been other disappearances?
Hard to tell. People go missing all the time. Especially the ones society pushes to its edge.
I can tell Jade's trying to sound reasonable, but she's had to deal with so much.
Sometimes they just move on. Change cities. There are rarely any records. But recently, a lot more people than normal have gone away.
But the ones who did come back?
Said they were given this egregore stuff. Pills or injections. And that was it. Some got sick, others were fine.
So there's some sort of crossover there, because that's the stuff that Aspirations were telling me about, that iguri.
But no clarity of mind business.
Could this be the moment to tell the truth? Not yet. Reverie's my burden to bear, for now. How do I bring up the Aspirations without sounding like I'm having a stroke?
And bear that burden you shall. You must.
I try to ignore Power's voice. I don't want to start acting weird and lose what little trust we've built with Jade. Not far now. Jade gives us a nod and a wave as she heads into her building. As we turn to leave, Bliss appears alongside me. I smile at Nora and Laszlo as we walk along in companionable silence. And Bliss laughs.
Someone's been busy. Well, guess what? We've been busy too. You're not the only bunch investigating. Bond and Power and I have news.
Truth still clings to life. But they are beyond our reach alone. Even our own ties have been severed. But we are close.
Our world does not cease to be when you are not viewing it. It is imperative that you stabilize your home front quickly so that you may assist us in Reverie. Do whatever you must.
I feel like Reverie is probably the more interesting side of things here, and I'm curious to explore that more rather than be looking for an old lady, but that's just me. I'm trying.
We know. So, here's the plan. We can clear the way to Truth Sanctuary, but after that, we'll have to summon you. Be ready.
Always be ready. End of chapter. Choosing an outcome. You've reached the end of the act. Time to choose an outcome. Close this tutorial, and so instead of tradition reborn with a guiding hand, we have a spark of joy. Bliss outcome unlocked because I got bliss crystals. Bliss is here, bouncing from foot to foot.
Took your time?
Where are we?
Truth domain. Figured out a way inside. Finally. Anyway, shall we?
I'm surprised to find a cave cold and damp, not at all where I imagined the aspiration of truth would reside. Empty walls, clear water, an unfillable void. It could be how they picture facts and accuracy. Cold, solid.
Chilly in here, innit?
In it, blood. Bliss whistles to herself, despite the dour surroundings. I see truth there in the center, broken, shattered. I move closer, my footsteps echoing in the void without dying in entirely. Even sound can't hide in here.
Right then. Let's get this old witch back in shape, shall we?
The diminutive aspiration digs through her pockets, extracting a multitude of objects. A garlic press, a halberd, a small owl-like creature staring out from a cage.
I know it's in here somewhere. Aha!
She brandishes a colossal tube of glue the size of a bazooka. Not surprisingly, it's an eye-blistering pink.
Now then.
She uncaps the tube. Somehow it feels all of this is for show, a ritual tied to Bliss's nature. Something changes in the air. Vibration, a rhythm, a hum, coming from the statue itself. Bliss gives me like Tank Girl vibes, if anyone remembers that. It was like a comic book and a film. Truth. I like unlocking cinematics and animations. That always is the kind of thing that makes me want to keep going. We're getting closer to finding Ursula. I can feel it. Reverie's guiding me through a maze. There's a lot I need to figure out for myself. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button and subscribe. It's basically just a way to tell YouTube you want to see more of these videos, and it also helps support the channel. There are some videos on the screen right now, or remember to check out the link in the description if you want to continue this game for yourself. Until next time, good night.